98.9% of you are not subscribed. Enter and subscribe because of the amount of 1,000 subscribers I will post a very special video for you. The encounter life on Zarian was a planet known for its vast deserts, imposing mountains, and unfortunately, its thriving slave trade. Among the many species subjected to servitude, Lyra stood out. She was a strikingly beautiful alien with iridescent blue skin and large, expressive eyes. Enslaved from a young age, her life had been a cycle of relentless servitude and suffering. She was known as a personal slave, a term that signified her role as a companion and servant, valued not only for her labor but also for her appearance. Her owner, Drex, was a ruthless trader who had purchased her at a high-profile auction. He treated her with an inhumane cruelty that left deep scars on her psyche. Each day was a struggle to survive, and each night she dreamed of a freedom that seemed impossibly out of reach. The chains that bound her were not just physical, they were psychological, deeply embedded in her sense of self. Despite the oppressive environment, Lyra retained a flicker of hope. She would often gaze at the stars from her small, barred window, imagining other worlds where freedom was not a dream, but a reality. This hope was her only escape from the harshness of her daily life, a silent rebellion against her captors. The arrival of the Intrepid One. Fateful day. A group of humans arrived on Zarian, led by Captain John Carter. They were on a diplomatic mission to explore potential alliances and trade agreements. John, a man of strong principles, was known for his aversion to slavery. As they walked through the bustling marketplace, the sights and sounds of suffering slaves tugged at his conscience. John had seen many horrors in his travels, but the sight of the enslaved beings on Zarian was particularly harrowing. He felt a deep sense of injustice as he observed the market, and his resolve to do something about it grew stronger. It was then that his eyes met Lyra's, and in that instant, everything changed. Lyra's eyes, filled with a mix of fear and hope, drew John in. He couldn't look away. Her gaze seemed to plead for help, and he felt a connection that transcended the barriers of species and circumstances. "How much for her?" John asked Drex, his voice firm. Drex, sensing an opportunity to profit, smirked. "She's one of my best. She won't come cheap." John didn't haggle. He paid the exorbitant price without a second thought, and Lyra was freed from her chains. She looked at him, bewildered and cautious, unable to believe that her nightmare was finally over. "You're safe now," John said gently. "No one will hurt you anymore." Lyra, though grateful, was filled with doubts and fears. She had been betrayed before, and trust did not come easily to her. However, something in John's eyes told her he was different, the journey to freedom. As they traveled back to John's ship, the Intrepid, Lyra began to relax. The crew treated her with kindness and respect, something she had never experienced. John assigned her a cabin of her own and assured her that she was free to go wherever she wished. "I want you to know that you are not a prisoner here," John told her. "You are free." The concept of freedom was foreign to Lyra. It was something she had only dreamed of. But with time, she began to trust John and his crew. She learned about their mission, their values, and slowly, her fear turned into hope. Over the following months, John and Lyra spent a lot of time together. He taught her about Earth, its customs, and its history. In return, she shared her story, her experiences on Zarian, and the injustices she had suffered. Their relationship grew stronger with each conversation, and a deep friendship blossomed between them. John, impressed by Lyra's intelligence and strength, invited her to officially join the crew of the Intrepid. Though hesitant at first, she accepted with gratitude. She quickly became a valuable member of the team, contributing her unique knowledge and skills. One night, while they were stargazing from the deck of the Intrepid, John confessed his feelings for Lyra. "From the moment I saw you, I knew there was something special about you," he said. "I don't just want you to be part of the crew, Lyra. I want you to be part of my life." Lyra, with tears in her eyes, accepted his words. She had also developed feelings for him, though she had tried to suppress them, fearing rejection. They embraced under the vast, star-filled sky, sealing their love with a passionate kiss. New beginnings and old threats. Life aboard the Intrepid changed after that night. John and Lyra became an inseparable couple, facing the challenges of space exploration together. Their love not only strengthened their bond but also boosted the morale of the crew, who saw in them a beacon of hope and perseverance. However, their happiness was short-lived. News of Lyra's liberation reached Zarian, and Drex, furious over losing his prized possession, vowed revenge. Using his vast network of contacts and resources, he tracked down the Intrepid and orchestrated a surprise attack. One night, while the ship was on a reconnaissance mission, they were ambushed by a fleet of mercenaries hired by Drex. The Intrepid was severely damaged and John and Lyra were captured. Drex reveled in having Lyra back under his control. "You thought you could escape me, but no one escapes Drex," he sneered. Despite his injuries, John remained defiant. "You won't get away with this, Drex. Not as long as I'm alive." Terrified but determined, Lyra refused to be a victim again. Using the skills and knowledge she had gained aboard the Intrepid, she devised an escape plan. With the help of the crew, they managed to free John, and together they fought the mercenaries. The battle was fierce, but they emerged victorious. In a final, desperate attempt, Drex tried to kill John, but Lyra intervened, saving her beloved and defeating Drex once and for all. With the threat eliminated, the Intrepid was safe once more. The crew celebrated their victory and, most importantly, the love between John and Lyra, which had proven stronger than any adversity, building a new future. After their triumphant return to Earth, John and Lyra married in a simple yet emotional ceremony. The crew of the Intrepid and friends from both worlds attended, celebrating not only their love but also Lyra's liberation and their new beginning together. Lyra, now free and loved, looked to the future with hope and determination. Together with John, she was ready to face any challenge and build a life filled with love and adventures. Their honeymoon on Earth was a period of discovery and joy for Lyra. John showed her his home planet, taking her to iconic places like the Eiffel Tower, the pyramids of Egypt, and the beaches of Hawaii. Each location was a new world for Lyra, who had never experienced such freedom and wonder. As they traveled, their love deepened. John admired Lyra's curiosity and awe, and she found comfort and safety in his presence. They became true partners in life, sharing dreams and hopes for the future. However, the peace they enjoyed on Earth was a luxury not afforded to many. News of Zarian and other planets under tyrannical control continued to arrive. John and Lyra knew their fight against slavery and injustice was far from over. One afternoon, while walking along a tranquil mountain path in Colorado, John proposed an idea to Lyra. "Lyra, we've seen what evil can do, but we've also experienced the power of love and justice. What do you think about forming an interplanetary alliance to combat slavery and protect the innocent?" Lyra looked into his deep blue eyes, feeling a mix of excitement and responsibility. "Yes, John. We've witnessed too much suffering. If we can do something to change it, we must try." With that decision, their honeymoon transformed into a mission. They began contacting leaders from other worlds, using John's connections and Lyra's inspiring story to garner support. The Interplanetary Alliance Against Slavery, IAAS, started to take shape, uniting species and civilizations in a common cause. Returning to the Intrepid, the ship transformed into the headquarters for the ILAS. New members joined the crew, including experts in intergalactic rights, military strategists, and activists from across the universe. The mission to explore and form alliances expanded to include rescues and liberation operations. Lyra, now co-leader of the IAS alongside John, became a prominent figure in the movement. Her story of slavery and liberation inspired millions, and her presence in negotiations and debates was a living testament to the need for change. Meanwhile, John continued to use his experience and leadership to coordinate operations. His tactical skills and ability to inspire others were crucial in rescue missions, where every decision could mean life or death for many. One day, they received a distress call from a planet called Eldoria, known for its natural beauty and recent colonization. Reports indicated that a slaver faction had taken control of several communities, imposing their rule through terror and violence. John, Lyra, and an elite team from the Intrepid set course for Eldoria, hoping to liberate the captives and restore peace. Upon arrival, they found a planet devastated by oppression, but inhabited by a population willing to fight for their freedom. The battles on Eldoria were intense and challenging. The slaver faction was well armed and organized, but the courage and determination of the liberators, combined with John's strategy and Lyra's leadership, proved invincible. During the campaign on Eldoria, Lyra once again demonstrated her bravery and skills. She not only fought on the front lines, but also inspired the Eldorians with her story and example. Her presence lifted morale and united the liberators in their common cause. The operation culminated in a decisive confrontation in the capital of Eldoria. The slavers, cornered and desperate, launched a final fierce attack. Amid the chaos, John was gravely wounded while protecting a group of civilians. Lyra, driven by love and fury, fought with renewed intensity, leading the liberators in a final assault that ended with the slavers' defeat. With victory secured, Lyra rushed to John's side, fearing the worst. The Intrepid's medics did their best to stabilize him, and thanks to their efforts, John survived. As he recovered, news of Eldoria's liberation spread throughout the universe. The IAS received unprecedented support, and new members joined the cause. The victory on Eldoria not only freed a planet, but also strengthened the resolve of the Alliance. John and Lyra, once again, proved that their love and determination could overcome any adversity. The campaign on Eldoria solidified their leadership and deepened their relationship, not just as a couple, but as leaders of an intergalactic movement. With Eldoria free and the IAS stronger than ever, John and Lyra faced new challenges with renewed hope and determination. Their journey together continued, and with each victory, they moved closer to a universe where slavery and injustice were a distant memory. In the following months, the IAS conducted numerous liberation missions on other planets and star systems. Each operation was a testament to their ability to work together and overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles. One of the greatest challenges came when the IAS discovered a slave complex on the planet Thalassia, an aquatic world inhabited by an amphibious species known as the Thalassians. The complex was run by an interplanetary criminal organization, notorious for its cruelty and technological sophistication. Thalassia presented a unique and dangerous environment. Most structures were submerged, and the enslaved Thalassians were forced to work under inhumane conditions underwater. John and Lyra, along with their team, had to quickly adapt to this new setting. Using advanced aquatic suits and breathing technology, the IAS team infiltrated the complex. The mission required meticulous planning and precise execution. The resilience and bravery of the Thalassians were crucial to the operation's success. During the assault, Lyra led a rescue team while John coordinated the main offensive. The waters of Thalassia became a battlefield, with skirmishes taking place both on the surface and in the depths. The criminal organization fought fiercely, but the determination and courage of the IAS were unstoppable. In a climactic confrontation at the heart of the complex, John and Lyra faced the leader of the criminal organization, Varric, a ruthless being who had turned slavery into a profitable business. The battle was intense and dangerous, but together John and Lyra managed to defeat Varric and dismantle the complex. With the liberation of Thalassia, the IAS gained even more recognition and support throughout the galaxy. The Thalassians, grateful for their freedom, joined the Alliance, bringing their unique skills and knowledge of the aquatic environment. The victory on Thalassia also strengthened the bond between John and Lyra. Every shared mission and adversity faced reinforced their love and commitment. They knew that as long as they were together, they could face any challenge. However, it wasn't all battle and conflict. Between missions, John and Lyra found moments to enjoy their life together and strengthen their personal relationship. In one of those moments, they decided to explore a planet called Elysium, known for its natural beauty and idyllic landscapes. Elysium was the perfect refuge to rest and recharge. They spent days exploring its lush jungles, swimming in its crystal-clear lakes, and admiring its majestic mountains. It was a time of peace and joy, a welcome contrast to the intense battles they had faced. One night, while gazing at the stars from a hill, John took Lyra's hand and looked into her eyes. "Lyra, we've been through so much together. We've fought, we've triumphed, and we've built something incredible. But beyond all that, I love you with all my heart. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, facing every challenge and enjoying every moment." Lyra, with tears of happiness in her eyes, responded, "John, you are my life, my love, and my home. I can't imagine a future without you. I'm with you now and always." Under the starry sky of Elysium, they sealed their commitment once more, knowing that their love and unity were invincible. They returned to the Intrepid with renewed energy and determination, ready to face the next challenges. The IAS continued to grow, and its impact on the galaxy was becoming more significant. Each liberated planet, each rescued slave, was a step closer to a just and free universe. John and Lyra, along with their brave team, knew their mission was far from over, but with every victory they came closer to their ultimate goal, a universe where slavery and injustice were just a memory of the past. The first chapter of their journey together had been one of struggle, liberation, and unyielding love. Their path was filled with challenges and dangers, but also with hope and joy. With every step they took, they proved that true love and determination could change the destiny of the galaxy. Building the Alliance. The Interplanetary Alliance Against Slavery, IAAS, continued to expand rapidly. Each successful mission drew more planets and civilizations to their cause, bolstering the network of support and resources available to fight injustice across the galaxy. John Carter and Lyra, now celebrated leaders of the IAAS, faced new challenges and opportunities as their crusade against slavery gained momentum, uniting the galaxy. John and Lyra had transformed the Intrepid into the IAAS headquarters, and it became a hub of activity. Experts in intergalactic rights, military strategists, diplomats, and activists from various species worked tirelessly to coordinate rescue missions, diplomatic efforts, and public awareness campaigns. The IAS was no longer just a small group of freedom fighters. It had evolved into a powerful coalition dedicated to ending slavery and oppression. One day, during a high-level strategy meeting aboard the Intrepid, they received an urgent transmission from a planet called Nabathar. Nabathar was renowned for its rich biodiversity and prosperous economy, but it was now under threat from an organization known as the Dark Consortium. This group had infiltrated Nabathar, using its wealth and influence to enslave its inhabitants and exploit its natural resources. The situation was dire. The Dark Consortium wielded advanced technology to control and subjugate the population, making liberation efforts extremely hazardous. Yet John and Lyra knew they couldn't stand by and let tyranny prevail. They mobilized immediately, assembling an elite team of IAAS operatives for a mission to liberate Nabathar and dismantle the consortium's operations. Upon arriving, they found a planet of breathtaking beauty marred by conflict. The native Nabatharians, a highly intelligent and adaptive humanoid species, were determined to resist but needed support. John, Lyra, and their team coordinated with the local resistance, led by a brilliant strategist named Zarael. Together, they devised a series of coordinated attacks to weaken the consortium's defenses and liberate the enslaved population. The first phase involved sabotaging the consortium's technological infrastructure. Alicia Fernandez, the Intrepid's chief engineer, led a team to infiltrate power plants and communication hubs, disrupting the enemy's control systems. Explosions and power outages sowed confusion among the consortium's forces, paving the way for the IAAS and Nabatharian resistance to advance. Lyra played a crucial role in unifying the various resistance factions. Her personal story of slavery and liberation resonated deeply with the Nabatharians, inspiring them to fight with renewed determination. Soon, the resistance was better organized and ready for a large-scale offensive. The decisive battle took place in Nabathar's capital, Zira, where the consortium had established its headquarters. The city, known for its crystalline towers and hanging gardens, was now under heavy military control. The liberation operation required precision and bravery, with John and Lyra at the forefront. John led the main assault, directing IAAS forces and Nabatharian fighters through the city. Using armored vehicles and advanced camouflage technology, they swiftly moved through the streets, clashing with the consortium's well-equipped soldiers. Lyra directed a specialized team to infiltrate prisons and labor camps, freeing slaves and ensuring their safe evacuation. During the intense combat, John and Lyra confronted the leader of the Dark Consortium, Vareth, a cunning and ruthless figure. The battle was grueling, with Vareth employing all his resources to fend off the Liberators. However, John and Lyra, leveraging their skills and unity, ultimately overpowered him. "You thought you could break us," John said, holding Vareth at gunpoint, "but you underestimated the strength of those who fight for freedom." With Vareth captured and the Consortium's forces in disarray, the IAAS secured victory. Nabathar was liberated, and the enslaved population was freed. The planet's natural beauty and peace began to be restored, symbolizing the triumph of justice over oppression. Consolidating victories. The success on Nabathar was a significant milestone for the IAS. It not only freed thousands of slaves but also sent a powerful message across the galaxy. The IAAS was a force to be reckoned with, and the fight for freedom was gaining unstoppable momentum. John and Lyra worked closely with Zarael and Nabathar's leaders to rebuild and heal the society. The collaboration between the IAAS and Nabathar led to an enriching exchange of knowledge and resources, strengthening both parties. During this period, Lyra and John also deepened their personal relationship. Their shared experiences on Nabathar, both harrowing and victorious, had forged an even stronger bond between them. They found solace and strength in each other, knowing that their love was a powerful force driving their mission forward. As the IAS continued to expand and confront new challenges, John and Lyra's leadership was unwavering. Their story of love and struggle inspired many, and their determination to create a just and free galaxy remained steadfast. However, their growing influence also attracted more formidable enemies. The slavers and tyrants who profited from the exploitation of others began to unite against the IAS, forming alliances to protect their interests. These adversaries employed increasingly sophisticated and lethal tactics, making each mission more perilous. The threat of Kalor. One day, while reviewing intelligence reports, John and Lyra received a disturbing alert. An ancient fortress on the planet Kalor, known for its impregnable defenses, had been reactivated by a coalition of slavers and mercenaries. Situated in a mountainous and inaccessible region, the fortress posed a significant threat to the surrounding area. Recognizing the danger, John and Lyra decided that a combined strategy of surprise attack and internal sabotage was necessary. They prepared to lead the mission, fully aware of the risks, but determined to eliminate this threat. Upon arriving at Kalor, they were greeted by a harsh and hostile landscape. Jagged mountains and deep canyons made the terrain treacherous. The fortress, a massive structure of stone and metal, loomed over the area, its defenses bristling with advanced weaponry. John devised a meticulous attack plan, leveraging Alicia's expertise to disable the electronic defenses, while Helen Rogers, the Intrepid's pilot and strategist, coordinated a diversionary aerial assault to draw enemy attention. Lyra, with her agility and combat skills, led an elite team to infiltrate the fortress. Their goal was to reach the command center and disable the internal defenses, allowing the IAS and local allies to penetrate the fortress. The mission began with controlled explosions that knocked out the fortress's outer defenses. Alicia's sabotage teams infiltrated and disabled surveillance and communication systems, creating chaos among the defenders. Lyra and her team moved stealthily through the fortress's dark corridors, confronting patrols and neutralizing traps. Her leadership and bravery were evident in every encounter, inspiring her team to press forward despite the danger. Reaching the command center, they found the coalition's leader, Kalith, a brutal and strategic mastermind. The confrontation was intense, with Kalith using all his resources to repel the infiltrators. Lyra, driven by her love for John and commitment to justice, faced Kalith with unyielding determination. The battle was fierce, but Lyra's agility and combat prowess ultimately prevailed. With Caliph defeated and the internal defenses disabled, the IAAS and local forces breached the fortress. Victory was theirs, but it came with sacrifices. Some IAS members had fallen, and the fortress bore grim reminders of the slavers' cruelty. Rebuilding and expanding. The liberation of Kalor marked another pivotal moment for the IAAS. The fortress, once a symbol of oppression, was transformed into a bastion of freedom and justice. With the help of local allies, they began converting the fortress into a strategic base for future liberation missions. John and Lyra, though exhausted from the mission, found strength and comfort in each other. They knew the fight continued, but every victory brought them closer to a galaxy free from slavery. As the IAAS grew and faced new challenges, John and Lyra's leadership and commitment remained steadfast. Their story of love and struggle continued to inspire many, and their determination to create a just and free galaxy never wavered. However, the fight was far from over. The slavers and tyrants who thrived on exploitation were not ready to surrender easily. They began to devise new plots and threats, preparing to challenge the IAS and its leaders. One day, during a strategic briefing, they received a coded transmission from Dr. Alaric, a scientist and rebel from the planet Clytonia. Clytonia, known for its vast oceans and advanced underwater defense technologies, was now under siege by slavers using a powerful new device capable of manipulating ocean currents to create devastating storms. Realizing the severity of the threat, John and Lyra assembled their elite team and set course for Clytonia. Upon arrival, they encountered a planet teeming with natural beauty, but gripped by fear. Coastal cities were under constant threat from artificial storms, and the resistance struggled to protect civilians while attempting to dismantle the device. Dr. Alaric, a passionate and courageous scientist, welcomed them and explained the situation in detail. The device was hidden in a heavily fortified underwater base, guarded by advanced security systems and armed patrols. John and Lyra, along with Dr. Alaric and the Clytonian resistance, devised a mission to infiltrate and sabotage the underwater base. Using stealth technology and specialized aquatic suits, they prepared to neutralize the device before it could cause further destruction. The mission began with diversionary tactics, while the main team submerged into Clytonia's depths. The underwater environment was breathtaking, yet fraught with peril. John and Lyra led their team with precision, navigating past patrols and automated defenses. Reaching the base's core, they encountered the device and its guardian, Varric, the ruthless leader of the slavers. The battle was intense, with Varric leveraging the base's defenses and oceanic environment to his advantage. John and Lyra fought valiantly, protecting Dr. Alaric as he worked to disable the device. In a critical moment, Lyra's agility and John's combat expertise overcame Varric, allowing Dr. Alaric to neutralize the device. As the base began to collapse, the team made a desperate escape to the surface, emerging with the news of their victory. The liberation of Clytonia was celebrated widely, and the IAS received further support and recognition. The victory on Clytonia not only freed the planet from imminent disaster, but also brought a new ally in Dr. Alaric. His scientific knowledge and dedication to freedom made him a valuable asset to the IAAS. As the IAS continued to grow and confront new challenges, John and Lyra remained committed to their mission. Their love and determination were a beacon of hope for many, and their resolve to create a just and free galaxy never faltered. The second chapter of their journey was filled with new threats, victories, and sacrifices. Each mission strengthened their bond and their conviction that a better future was possible. With the IAS stronger than ever, John and Lyra knew their journey was far from over, but they were ready to face any adversity together, trusting in the power of love and justice. The rise of the resistance. As the IAS continued to grow, so did the threats against it. Intelligence reports indicated that various slaver factions were joining forces to create a formidable resistance against the IAS. These factions, desperate to protect their lucrative operations, began to develop advanced weapons and strategies to combat the growing influence of the IAS. John and Lyra knew that they had to be proactive. They began to focus on strengthening their alliances and building a comprehensive defense strategy. This involved not only military tactics, but also diplomatic efforts to garner more support from neutral planets. One such diplomatic mission took them to Eldoria, a planet known for its strategic location and advanced technology. The Eldorians were wary of getting involved in interplanetary conflicts, but John and Lyra's presence and their compelling vision for a free galaxy started to sway the Eldorian Council. During their stay on Eldoria, they encountered Tara, a young Eldorian scientist with a keen interest in interstellar politics and technology. Tara was intrigued by the IAAS's mission and offered her expertise in developing new technologies to aid their cause. Tara's knowledge proved invaluable. She introduced the IAAS to advanced shielding technologies and energy weapons that could give them a significant edge in future battles. Her passion and dedication also inspired other Eldorians to support the IAAS, leading to a formal alliance. With new technology and allies, the IAAS was better equipped to face the increasing threats. They began a series of coordinated strikes against the slaver factions, aiming to dismantle their operations before they could fully unite. The battle for Andoria. One of the most significant operations was the liberation of Andoria, a planet that had become a major hub for the slaver coalition. Andoria's cities were heavily fortified, and its skies were patrolled by advanced drones and fighter ships. John and Lyra knew that a direct assault would be too costly. Instead, they opted for a multi-pronged strategy involving sabotage, subterfuge, and targeted strikes. Using the new technologies provided by Tara and the Eldorians, they prepared for one of their most ambitious missions yet. The first phase involved infiltrating Andoria's defense grid. Alicia Fernandez and her team of engineers managed to hack into the planetary network, causing widespread malfunctions and disabling key defenses. This created an opportunity for IAAS forces to land undetected. On the ground, Lyra led a team of operatives to sabotage critical infrastructure, including communication hubs and power plants. Her team's efforts caused confusion and disarray among the slaver forces, making it easier for the main assault to advance. Meanwhile, John coordinated aerial and ground assaults, ensuring that IAAS forces moved swiftly and efficiently. The battle was fierce, with heavy casualties on both sides. However, the combination of advanced technology and superior tactics began to turn the tide in favor of the IAAS. In the heart of Andoria's capital, they confronted Grath, the ruthless leader of the slaver coalition. Grath was a formidable opponent, utilizing both brute force and cunning strategy to defend his stronghold. The battle against Grath and his elite guards was intense, pushing John and Lyra to their limits. In a climactic showdown, John and Lyra managed to outmaneuver Grath, using a combination of tactical brilliance and sheer determination. Grath was captured, and with his defeat, the remaining slaver forces on Andoria began to crumble. The liberation of Andoria was a monumental victory for the IAAS. It demonstrated their ability to take on heavily fortified positions and deal a significant blow to the slaver coalition. The fall of Andoria also served as a powerful symbol of hope and resistance for enslaved populations across the galaxy. A growing network of allies. With each victory, the IAS's reputation grew, attracting more allies and resources. The liberation of Andoria in particular had a ripple effect, inspiring other planets to join the cause. Diplomatic missions became more successful, and the IAS began to establish a robust network of support. One notable ally was Rylith, a planet known for its rich cultural heritage and strategic location. The Rylothians were skilled diplomats and traders, and their support brought not only military aid, but also critical supplies and intelligence. John and Lyra's diplomatic efforts on Ryloth were met with enthusiasm. They attended cultural events, participated in discussions with local leaders, and shared the vision and successes of the IAS. Their genuine commitment to justice and freedom resonated deeply with the Rylothians. Through Ryloth's extensive trade networks, the IAAS gained access to new markets and resources. This influx of supplies and intelligence significantly boosted their operational capabilities, allowing them to plan and execute more complex missions. strengthening internal unity. As the IAAS grew, maintaining internal unity and morale became increasingly important. John and Lyra placed a strong emphasis on fostering a sense of community and shared purpose among their members. They held regular briefings, celebrations of victories, and commemorations of fallen comrades. They also encouraged open communication and collaboration across different teams and departments. This inclusive approach helped to build a cohesive and resilient organization, capable of withstanding the pressures and challenges of their mission. One particularly memorable event was the celebration of the IAAS's anniversary. Held aboard the Intrepid, the event brought together members from various planets and backgrounds. It was a time of reflection, celebration, and renewed commitment to their cause. During the celebration, Lyra gave a heartfelt speech, recounting their journey and the sacrifices made along the way. Her words moved everyone present, reinforcing the importance of their mission and the power of unity and love. John followed with a speech of his own, highlighting the strategic achievements and future goals of the IAS. He emphasized the importance of continued vigilance and collaboration, reminding everyone that their ultimate goal was within reach: the challenge of Zenthara. Despite their successes, the IAAS faced constant threats from remaining slaver factions. One of the most formidable was on the planet Zenthara, known for its harsh environment and strategic significance. The slavers had established a stronghold in Zenthara's mountainous regions, using the rugged terrain to their advantage. Zenthara was a critical target for the IAS. Its location made it a key transit point for slave trade routes, and liberating it would significantly disrupt slaver operations. However, the mission posed immense challenges due to the difficult terrain and well-fortified positions of the slavers. John, Lyra, and their strategists spent weeks planning the operation. They decided on a combination of aerial assaults, ground infiltration, and strategic sabotage. The plan was to hit the slavers from multiple angles, overwhelming their defenses and creating opportunities for liberation. The operation began with a series of precision airstrikes, targeting key fortifications and supply lines. Helen Rogers, the Intrepid's skilled pilot, led the aerial campaign, using advanced maneuvers and stealth technology to outwit the slaver defenses. Simultaneously, Lyra led a ground team through the treacherous mountain paths, aiming to sabotage the slavers' communication and supply networks. The team faced numerous obstacles, including harsh weather conditions and booby-trapped paths. Despite the challenges, Lyra's team made significant progress. They managed to disrupt the slavers' logistics, causing confusion and reducing their ability to coordinate a defense. This paved the way for the main IAS forces to advance. John, coordinating the overall operation, ensured that all teams remained in sync and adapted to the evolving battlefield conditions. His leadership and strategic acumen were crucial in maintaining the momentum of the assault. In the heart of Zenthara's stronghold, they faced Malik, a notorious slaver known for his brutality and tactical prowess. The battle against Malik and his forces was intense, pushing the IAS to their limits. John and Lyra, working together, managed to outflank Malik, ultimately capturing him and securing victory. A new dawn. The liberation of Zenthara was a turning point in the IAS's campaign. It significantly weakened the slaver networks and boosted the morale of the IAS and their allies. The successful operation also demonstrated the effectiveness of their combined military and strategic approach. With Zenthara free, John and Lyra turned their attention to consolidating their gains and preparing for future challenges. They continued to strengthen their alliances, build their resources, and refine their strategies. The IAS's growing influence also attracted more skilled individuals and groups to their cause. Scientists, engineers, diplomats, and warriors from across the galaxy joined the IAS, bringing their expertise and passion to the fight against slavery. John and Lyra's leadership remained central to the IAS's success. Their ability to inspire, strategize, and lead by example was a beacon of hope and determination for all members. Their love and partnership were also a powerful symbol of the unity and resilience needed to achieve their ultimate goal. Looking to the future. As the IAS prepared for the next phase of their campaign, John and Lyra took a moment to reflect on their journey. They had come a long way from their initial struggle on Zarian, building a powerful alliance and achieving significant victories. However, they knew that the fight was far from over. The remaining slaver factions were still a threat, and new challenges would undoubtedly arise. Yet they were confident in their ability to overcome any obstacle, fueled by their love, commitment, and the unwavering support of their allies. John and Lyra stood on the bridge of the Intrepid, looking out at the stars. They knew that their journey would continue, filled with both trials and triumphs. Together, they would face whatever came their way, determined to create a galaxy where freedom and justice prevailed.